before the heaven and the earth came to existence. What was I before the heaven and the earth came to existence? What was I before the heaven and the earth came to existence? What was I? My friends, practitioners, today is the third day of 2 weeks retreat, October 2023. And the practice, very simple. We just add the question. The target of the practice that before talk. Hoa thổ mean that before talk. Then before of the question, the explanation. Yeah, Patrick explained very clear. But our sixth sense, our subjective and the objective always rising. The meaning always rising because that the familiar with that, because the ignorant, because the self-attachment. But the practice relieve ignorance, sweep out all self-attachment. Objective mean hoa thổ, mean the before talk. The objective, not the question, not try to answer the question, not fight down the question. That also the Patra and the experience once explained, but the practitioner still stuck in self-attachment, still stuck in the dualism, still raising the discrimination. Just only the way, only practice, and listen to the experience, listen to the Patra, or reading the Buddha teaching in the Mahayana Sutra. Day by day, with the practice, we will be get the experience, the practice. We will the right target of the Buddha and the patriarchs pointed. And the practice must be continuously. The practice must be seriously and very clearly in asking the question. We don't put the question, we don't push all up the thing in anywhere. The other practice methods, they put the top on the head, they put the top in the nose, in front of the nose, they put the top in front of the face, about 1 or 2 foot. Or they put the top in the belly. But in this practice, no put anywhere, just raising down, asking the question and raising down, maintaining down. Raising down automatically rising from the question because we don't know the down raising, and we again at the question down maintain. The practice like that with the explanation from the pattern, explanation of the practice method, we begot the right practice. Lai Quả Zen Master, he also said, raising down or not yet raising down, just ask the question very clearly, continuously. Don't mention anything else. Just practice like that. Just like we buy the wood, showing the wood. And like Zen Master also said, the practice of new practitioner, the couple months at the beginning, they always stay in the one thought of ignore. Not yet really the one thought of ignore, mean not yet raising down. They still practice. Don't do that practice. Continue to practice. Ask the question clearly. 5 months, 7 months, the Tao will rise, and the practice will get effort. We feel in that, understood that. Let's just practice. And the more we practice, the more we get the talk of painful in circle birth and death. And when the painful obstacle birth and death gets strong, the practice gets strong too. At the end, we discover our self-nature, mean destroy the ignore, the basis of ignore out of the circle birth and death. Just practice. Kính thưa quý thầy, we should go.
Dear monks, nuns, and all Zen practitioners,
Cái công phu tham thiền chúng ta phải nói rất đơn giản.
Our practice is very basics.
Đó là tham thoại đầu, tức là chỉ
very simple.
đề thoại đầu.
The Huatou is what we need to start with. We need to ask clearly.
Đề thoại đầu tức là tâm mình hướng ở chỗ.
When you ask the question, your mind directly turning toward the Huatou. That is before thoughts, before the question, before any word. And we always in this thousand of thoughts and never stop. That is a karmic habits. And our practice is when we say it's easy and simple, is when we start asking the question, because of our deep karmic energy is always disturb us. So in order to do that, we need to ask question non-stop. And maybe asking the question is nothing to hold on. It's meaningless. But our habits, we always want to hold on to something. We always have this discriminated mind, and it's become very difficult. And it's easy to practice, but it's very hard to truly understand this. And not because of this difficult understanding that we would forget about this practice, because it's gonna not able to resolve the birth and death. So there are many different skillful means in the practice, and many conventional practice, subject and object, and there's always an object of focus, the subject of focus, the focus on the belly, the third eye, the name of the Buddhas, or the subject is in front of us, and this practice is basically has the subject and object. So the conventional practice sounds very easy, but is the ultimate goal is still very far away. And forgot about our own attachment, and that this attachment in the practice is also tied us into the path is going nowhere, not able to go to all the ultimate. And when we practice this Huato, it's also distracted by our old traditional practice, and we maybe focus on a Huato, on the top of the head, the belly, the breath, and this is because of the habitual patterns. And when we think is when we focus on, and it's not that the true practice of the Huato, the true practice of Huato is create doubts. So habitual pattern is too strong. This energy is created difficulty. So when we say just ask the question and ask it clearly, in any situation, any conditions, we have to put our practice in a priority, because this practice is very meaningless, tasteless. It's just like chewing on the dead wood. So one place we have a delicious food, very good food, and one plate is the dead wood. And of course, everyone is going to choose the good food. So our distinguished mind is always choosing this and that. And when we go beyond, it's really difficult. And when we have a strong determination for the birth and death, then we're able to know exactly what we're doing. But if we don't, we're gonna go back to the ignorant state of mind. So this practice is we just need to ask the question and return to the create doubt. And as long as you continue to chew on this dead wood, and eventually you're able to taste the Zen. And when we practice, we're gonna have Zen. And when we have Zen, we have practice. So this is when we have this Huato all the time. And when we train our mind like this, it's always have this practice as a priority. So even how strong is your habitual energy is, it's not gonna be a matter. So as long as you're able to practice, and there's a proverb saying that, the Vietnamese proverb say that as long as you continue to grind at the metal, and the metal has become a needle. And this practice, we rely on the community, the wise teacher, the wise friends, so that we're not gonna go off the track. We're gonna go in the wrong path. So when we live in a community, then we're able to be exposed our weakness, our bad habits, our behaviors, and it's gonna exhaust our that self-attachment to this old habits. So Zen Master likewise, he said that if you live in a mountain, in the remote area, people, they not practice as good as, you know, the practitioner, you know, in the Zen center. And when we live by ourselves in the hut, we're gonna very slack of effort, because we are by ourselves. Nobody gonna watch over us. But when you live in a community, in a sangha, and we watch out for each other, we cannot, you know, have this slackiness. So we always put the effort. So therefore, the patriarchs always recommend us to stay in the community, the sangha. So this is community, the environment is going to help us to exhaust our heavy, strong habitual patterns or energy. So this is the words, the teaching by the patriarchs. So in this practice, we need to come close to the sangha, and so that we can see our wrongdoing, our acting. And when we look at the mirror, we see our own face. When we live by ourselves, nobody's gonna able to give us a recommendation. So this is when we live in a community, the sangha, and we live in this, we attend a retreat. It's gonna help us to point out our wrongdoing, our weakness. So this is so this guidelines, this teaching, basically gonna help us to stay follow the right path, and we able to see how practice these practices. So right now in the Zendo or in the Zoom, if anyone has any questions or want to share any experience, please go ahead and raise your hand. Thank you so much. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Dear monastic sanghas and all Zen practitioners. So, dear Thai, can you explain more so that I can see clearly my so my practice can be strong and stable? I have heard this, the patriarch say that because of our birth and death, and because of the birth and death, I asked myself this question, why I came here. And I don't even know what birth and death is. So I have learned from the patriarchs, from all the wise teachers and friends here, and that's how I able to understand the birth and death. And if the birth and death it doesn't matter to me, then why do I need to learn Zen? Why do I need to practice? In the Platform Sutra, and when the Sikh patriarch completely achieved the awakening, and if any practitioner come to the path and not able to achieve the awakening or realization, then it's gonna be a waste. And I don't remember exactly which Zen masters. He said that always put the word death on your forehead. So can you expound on this teaching of the birth and death, so that way I can just gonna support my practice? Thank you. So actually the birth and death and each practitioners will have a different perspective. Someone they see that life is impermanent, so they took a vow to become a practitioners. And when they're able to see the birth and death on their own body, sickness, and their own family who have someone pass away, and they took a vow to practice, and there's someone that they experience the suffering of unconditional sacrifice and satisfaction. And maybe someone they don't know who they are, and they feel like they've been go through the ocean of birth and death all the time. So all these teachings come from the sutras. We cannot able to see it by ourselves, and that's because of our own ignorant mind. And if we reborn into a dog, then we're gonna fight the bone with another dog. And if we reborn in this human form, and we have always different perspective, we always see we are right all the time, and other people, wrong. And we see our knowledge. We see our knowledge is number one, and others are not the same as ours knowledge or perspective or understanding. So this come from all the ignorance. And so when the Buddha or the patriarchs, when asked something from the ignorant mind, so they always say just one word. They don't say much. So it's just like the class is so full, they cannot able to perceive the very deep wisdom. So they need, in order to receive the wisdom, they need to empty out their own classes. So it doesn't matter which the class is full or empty or half full. It doesn't matter. We just need to return to the practice. We need to create, we have the friction with our own habitual patterns. Are we get obstructed by the any kind of afflictions or the self-attachments, and maybe we see that we have the deep layer of self-attachment, and we still have chaos, from the outside, from words from other people, and self-attachment from the self, subject and object. So that's why we need to study under teachers. So they go to the patriarchs, they did the same thing. They go to different teachers so they can expose and they're able to see the self nature. So that's why this is the guideline of our practice. And so that we need to go to studies, go to study under different teachers. So the other people from the religions, they try to find a way to leave the suffering, but they still get the self-attachment in fighting the resolve the suffering. But we are very lucky, we very fortunate to have this practice. It's going to help us to release from the subject and object, non-attachment. So it doesn't matter how difficult that is. We should not let go of our primal mindset. So we don't need to compare this and that, mine and theirs, on this path of awakening. So therefore, the Buddha has to create different paths. There are 5 paths, and so on. So, to do that, we have to let go of our own self-attachment, self-knowledge. So this, there's a stanza, the stanza for offering the incense. So we need to let go all let go all of the knowledge. That's the most need to let go for the incense so in order to offer the incense to the Buddha. So we and if we're not able to let go, then we're not able to truly offer the incense. So therefore we need to continue with our practice. So don't let the worldly knowledge or the self-attachment is going to create an obstacle for our practice. So whichever determination, the doors that we think of is correct, but it doesn't matter. We still have this conventional mind. It's always have the subject and object, and because of the self-attachment to our own thoughts. So we just need to ask the question. So do you understand? Yes, thank you. Pháp Thanh, please go ahead.
Mở cái phần mute đi, mở micro lên.
Dạ thầy có nghe con nói không ạ?
Rồi nghe.
Can you hear me? Yes, please go ahead.
Dạ cho phép con được. Dạ con kính chào quý thầy, quý sư cô.
Dear Monastic Sanghas and all Zen practitioners, I would like to present my practice. Recently, I have problem. I have recite the Huatou question more than the practice of Huatou, the true Huatou. because of my environment, it's very noisy, a lot of music, a lot of people chanting around me in where I live. So you recommend me to ask the questions slowly. Don't try too hard. Don't try to pressure, suppress. But when I ask the question, if I ask slowly, I get a lot of distraction from the surrounding. And also I want to repent for my practice. And a lot of people, they try to have a lot of gossip, with other people. They come and have had a lot of gossip with me, and I didn't concentrate on a practice. So if I have this distraction, please correct me, and I really appreciate it. So in this practice, we're not able to avoid any kind of obstacles. Absolute, we're not able to. So even in the noisy world, we still have the problem, but in another problem is when we get to in the silent mind, then it's gonna create another problem. But it's this even deeper problem with the silent mind, silent thoughts. And even when we get to the state of no thoughts, and in the 3 months we stay in this no thoughts, and even we say in this for 30 years, we're not able to awakening, and even in a noisy world, and it's very difficult practice. And in the 3 years, we're not able to accumulate in the practice that much. And from 3 years to 7 years, and then we're able to have the taste of Zen, the taste of practice. And this is when the energy of practice is going strong. And this is when the mind is able to release from the worldly subject and object. And any kind of noise is going to help us to awake. So even though in the noisy world or noisy place, it's hard to practice, but it's basically it's, in other words, it's good condition, better than the silent. And I understood that your places has a lot of noise from people singing, dancing, and people around you make a lot of noise. So this is where you're at right now. So you should need to continue with the practice, so it's gonna overcome. It's gonna have a lot of attachment with any of that. And because you have the responsibility for the family, so you should need to continue to practice. And because of this practice is very unique, you're able to use your practice, and it's gonna eventually solve it, the other surrounding. And even the king, as a king, he is very busy too, right? But he is able to overcome that. And the late famous family, the Pan One families, as a family life, they're able to awaken too. So this is the right absolute view. You're able to accumulate the practice and gonna achieve the goal. And if you continue to understand that because of the birth and death, therefore you need to return to the practice. So even the gossip, come, you're gonna follow it. And if the music comes, you're gonna follow the music. That is normal. The mind is gonna run after that. But as long as you're gonna return to the practice, even the patriarch say that the habitual patterns it's very, very difficult to change, to transform. So therefore, we just need to continue with the practice. We cannot avoid this worldly life. So there's a saying that we cannot avoid the sun. When you run under the sun, there's a shadow. So this is challenge, but we just need to practice, but we're not gonna suppress the sound, the noise, the smell, the forms, and all that. You need to continue to ask the question. Just like if where's birth came from, and when I die, where would I go? And you just need to ask the question. And your question is very blurry, very dreamy. Then you need to continue to contemplate why I'm here, why I have a lot of conflicts, have a lot of problems in life. Then you come to realization that, oh, I need to come to practice in order to resolve all this. And the Zen master Chung Fong Min Bong, he always say that just always come to this thought: why do I come to this life? Birth and death. Why is birth and death? So because you live by yourself and you not live in the sangha, so therefore you're gonna have a lot of challenge. You have a lot more challenge than in a sangha. So you need to continue contemplate about birth and death. So it's gonna help you to return to the practice, so you not run off on the worldly desires. So hope you understood. Yes. Now it's just time. We're gonna come to an end. Thank you, everyone. Namo Sakyamuni Buddha.